I'm
All right. Well, Fred's here. We can start the recording now. He's representing the EF Pink.
Yeah.
Sunshine.
Dogs. I can see a dog. What's his name?
This is Lucy.
Lucy.
Ciao, Lucy.
Oh God, I love seeing all of you guys. I miss you guys.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 of us. Now that I can see. Is there more than 9? Or...
Okay. Andrea, we know there's always
okay. Hi, Fred. Hi,
What's
Fred.
up?
How are you?
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm
Good.
surviving.
We miss you. We can't wait to be with you again.
Yeah, hopefully soon. We don't know when yet, right?
Soon.
But soon.
Yes. Soon. The sooner the better.
The sooner the better, absolutely. Yeah.
My house gets smaller every day. It gets a little smaller. And every day it gets a little smaller. You're like, damn, this place is getting small.
I know. I know.
Okay,
Hi,
so
Matt.
I have a question.
Oh my God, I love you already, Victoria. What is it?
Many of my students, okay, I had one class that was just like so incredibly fascinated with my trip to Rome, and I was so excited, and they demanded pictures until I could figure out how to show the pictures in class. So I just thought it would be great fun to share, you know, this recording when it's all finished with my one class, because I talked so much about Andrea and, you know, and everybody. Is it okay, or is it like completely inappropriate to share?
Totally okay. A-okay. We can't wait to.
Yay!
If you spoke well about me, it's perfectly okay. Whatever you say.
Victoria, I'll do one better for you. I'll share it out to all of you. We need as much love as we can get right now. It's not been easy going through this crazy coronavirus. And you all know that, you know, it's a really special company. And right now we have a lot of attention on us. So videos like that change our day inside. I mean, Carolyn sends us stuff. I mean, some of the Texas GEAs are sending us, group leaders are sending us videos from students. Like, it lifts our spirits in ways you can't expect. We need to remember what we're all doing here. It isn't about the coronavirus. It's not about all that bad stuff necessarily. It's also about the amazing stuff Travel does. So, man, I miss you. I'm getting teared up seeing your face again, Victoria. All you guys, I'm so excited. What a great day.
Well, my big thing was I went to Rome and we had this amazing trip, and so I had to come home and I started going back to the gym and I started paying more attention to what I eat, because, you know, schlepping around with all these young people and all these amazing teachers, you know, I have to be fit and strong and not always bringing up the rear.
That's so true.
Although that's okay too. It's better than not going.
That's good. So have you guys postponed your trips to next year, or are you in the process of doing that?
I think Eva was getting close to calling.
I know we postponed our trip for next year. And we've lost a couple along the way, mostly because of a lot of the job situations for some of our families. And so.
Okay, that's good.
I held out till, okay, this is so funny because I talked to Amelia a couple of weeks ago and she said, you know, what do you want to do? And have you reached out to the families? And I said, okay, here's what I want to do. I want to wait till like the middle of April and then perhaps send out a questionnaire and ask how everybody's feeling and what everybody wants to do. And here it is, the middle of April, and I'm going to talk to Amelia about it, but I think that the end of June is just too early and it would just make me too nervous. So I think that we're going to postpone till the next summer, I think. I don't know. Amelia hasn't heard any of my thoughts, but as much as I want to go to Panama, as much as I want to travel, you know, it's not worth dying for.
No, it's not worth dying for. And I think you want to maintain the trust of the parents in the group too. And I think, sadly, that's probably the best decision. Amelia, I can see her at the bottom of my screen. Amelia's going to be really happy with your decision, I promise. She's not
good.
I'm always
Okay.
happy with Victoria. I'm always happy with your decisions.
Now you guys are making me cry.
I hope we all get to go to, I hope Portugal's still on the table, Lisbon. So far it is, so maybe we'll see.
Yes.
I think by then the world should be in a better spot, hopefully.
From your lips to God's ears.
Amen.
Amen.
Did you all see Andrea Bocelli in Rome? Was it in Rome? It was at St. Peter's, right?
It was in Milan.
Milan.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
Milan,
right?
yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. What's it like, Andrea, right now where you are? Tell us about Italy. Tell us what's going on there.
Well, I was just checking, and basically every day at 6 p.m. everyone is in front of the TV, because at 6 p.m. they tell us the new numbers of the day, how many more infected people, how many more people died. And so today we had about over 500 people died, so a little less than yesterday. We have a couple of thousand people, newly infected people, and that's less than yesterday. So numbers are going down, but very slowly. Okay, so we reached the peak about 7-10 days ago. We reached the peak, and now it's like flattened, but it's going down now. So now it's going down. We're still locked at home. We're not moving from home. We can go out to shop for food, and that's it. Of course, there is people that goes to work, but only like essential workers. Like most people that can is working from home. Like my wife. I'll show you my wife new position at home here. This is my wife's new office, which is my daughter's.
Very
This
nice.
is where this is my daughter's bedroom, as you can see, which has been turned into an office by my wife. And basically my wife sleeps here. She sleeps and works here. She basically gets off the bed. She's already at her desk.
Oh my gosh.
While me and my daughter, I'll show you, my daughter, she's doing some homework, some late evening homework. I'll show you my daughter. Lavinia, say hi. What the, look at me. Yes, my daughter doing some homework. We're in the living room. This is my living room. Okay, living
Very
room.
stylish.
Thank you. Let me show you something history that's just not just virus related, but it's education. Tend to make it educational. Okay, I'll show you my small collection of antiquities here. Look, okay, this is a mini book.
Oh my goodness.
It's a book of prayers from the 17th century.
Oh, Andrea.
17th century book
Unbelievable.
in German. And this is one of the most precious one. Then I have some Roman coins here. It's a Roman coin from the 2nd century AD from Marcus. This is Marcus Aurelius, the emperor, on one side. Then I have a pin for the togas. There's kids here. Where are the kids? Kids in the background.
Oh, it's scary.
Okay.
Scary.
Someone will have to shut the microphone.
Yeah.
So this is some other things on the collection. This is a Roman oil lamp. So the Romans used to put oil in here, and you will have the flame from here, from the top. Pieces of broken terracotta vases that I found myself and some ancient books. This is the oldest books from. This is from the early 16th century book.
What?
Okay, and yeah, that's about it. I have some more stuff. I have one more important piece up here. Okay, that vase that you see in the middle, that's about. It should be around the 3rd, 4th century BC. That's over there.
How
The
did
one
you
at the top.
That's
Now
amazing.
this one I can't tell you. Sorry, it's a secret. It's a very long story, but you have to understand that there's a lot of people in Italy. There are stuff like this at home. Okay, it's because like where I live, like exactly in the same plot of land where this building there used to be a cemetery. So when they dug the foundations, they removed all the bones and they built a condo on top of it. And there were people here in the like early 50s and 60s was building. As they dug the foundations, they found stuff. So they found stuff like the one I just showed you. And so it's like antiquities are everywhere here. I'm gonna do like a last like a little tour of the house. So I'll show you where I live. I'm going out in the balcony now. It's my little balcony. As you can see, we don't have tumble dryers. Okay, we do, but we just don't use them. I mean, we don't have, like our homes are so little that you can't really fit a tumble dryer. It's a waste of space. So we just hang clothes outside. So I have like
It's
a little.
environmentally better anyway.
Yeah, you save energy, Victoria. Yes, save energy. So this is my little balcony on one side. This is the garden of the condo. See all the units here. See, there's some units. I'm on the 2nd floor. This is the common garden, and then that's my parents. I just live upstairs for my parents.
I love this.
That's and they have a bit of a garden outside. Now my dad today now is at home, but my mom is at the hospital, by the way.
Is she sick? Or?
No, she tripped in the kitchen the other day and she broke her arm.
No.
Yes, yes. She tripped in the kitchen, she broke her arm, and now she's in the hospital waiting for surgery. I was there this morning. I spoke to the professor, so she's gonna have surgery on Friday, and she should be home on Saturday or Sunday. I know it's not a good thing to be in hospital these days.
Oh.
But the ones she's in doesn't have any cases. They don't have COVID virus cases there. It's mainly for broken bones, and but they allow one person at a time, once a day for 1 hour, from like 7 to 8 p.m. So now here it's 7:15, and my wife is just gone. She's gone to see my mom, and she brought some, a couple of books, like a little radio, something for her to pass some time. Just to end the tour of my house, another little balcony. This is from my daughter's room. And outside my daughter's room, I do some little gardening for as much as I can, like little vases of flowers. This is the my parents, and in front of me I have that's a bell tower of a church.
Are you
modern
kidding?
church. Yeah, that's a church right there. I listen to bells twice a day. Even if I don't have a watch, I know that it's noon and it's 6 p.m. And these are the houses around it. Yeah.
What a beautiful neighborhood.
Okay.
What's the temperature right now?
Temperature today it's a bit cooler, but I mean it's getting better. Temperature would be like today was probably like 70, 68, 70.
I expected you to give it to us in Celsius, and I was going to have to convert it.
It's warming up.
Victoria's ready.
Me too.
No, that's for in Celsius. Celsius today was probably like 19 Celsius, 18, 19 Celsius, or about 20, I would say. But in the sun, it feels much better. It feels warmer in the sun. It's okay. I should have been on tour today. I would have been in Greece today if I was on tour. If it wasn't for this craziness that's going on. Going back to what's happening in Italy, I don't know. I mean, obviously, we never had anything like this before, so we're not prepared. So we were the first country to be hit by this, so we did, some mistakes. The government, we should have closed things probably earlier. We didn't figure out like right away whether it was like a regular influenza or it was something different. So it took us a few days, and during those couple of weeks, which were like between February and March, like hundreds of thousands of people have been infected. And this happened like in a very heavily populated area of Italy, like northern Italy. A lot of people concentrated in a small place. Here we live like on top of each other in certain neighborhoods. But we've been good in keeping the rest of the country pretty safe. Like in Rome, we only have a couple of thousand cases, and not many people died, and which is great because we're the biggest city in Italy, and so although there's a lot of people here, we were able to contain the virus. So it didn't really spread so much in the rest of Italy. It's mainly relegated in the northern parts, like in Milan, basically. Milan and the area near Milan, in the region of Lombardy, they still get like lots of cases there every day, about 1,000 every day. And that's it. I mean, it's boring. I'm telling you, it's really boring for someone like me that's accustomed to travel, to be away and be stuck at home like this. It's pretty bad. I don't know. I have this kind of feeling. You think you have like lots of time now to read a book. I started to read a book. I stopped about like 2 days after, because I don't have the. When you read a book, you need to have your mind like relaxed and not stressed, So, but because of what's going on, you're stressed out. You can't avoid it. So I can't really enjoy myself like sitting down on the sofa and read a book, because I keep thinking, what's going to happen now, what's going to be in the future. The economy, and then you turn on the TV, but you want to switch it off like 2 minutes later, because because what they talk about these days, it's the virus. They don't talk about anything else. This is like a half-hour news, half-hour of virus. So that's the story. We're hoping for the best, really, and I know that it's going to stay like this for. Well, we know for sure that we're going to be home for another 2 weeks. Okay, from May 3rd, they are going to reopen quite a few business. So hopefully by the end of May, everything should be reopened. But we still have to maintain distances as much as we can, probably throughout summer. So probably to the end of July, there won't be any like concerts or like sports events. Those are all canceled at least until September. So this is like in short what's happening here. I don't know anybody that got the virus, so we're just keeping our elderly at home. My mom and my dad, they didn't go out at all, except for going to the hospital. My mom, she didn't go out for like 2 months. So I'm the one in charge of going to do shopping. My daughter, she works from my daughter. She's on she does computer. She's got like 2 hours a day, 2-3 hours a day of using Zoom, like with their teachers. My wife worked from there, and I'm like, I'm the housewife, basically the housewife. I do everything else in the house. I should be starting making some dinner. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna place the iPad in the kitchen, and I'm gonna start working for the dinner. Okay.
Woo! That
You
is-
guys,
Goodness.
What are you making us?
tonight, I'm not gonna cook that much tonight. I think I got some frozen stuff tonight in the fridge. Let's see if I show you. I got lots of stuff because we go out like once a
Texas
week.
boot.
These are all like my magnets from like all over the shit. I can see.
That is a Texas boot.
Yeah, I see it.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now I have some soup, like a green peas soup. Oh, this is like a fresh one. This is what I'm going to do tonight. So you only have to warm it up, really. And maybe some meat. And we eat here. These are a small kitchen, but it's good for the three of us. So you guys give me some updates. Just give me some good news. I need some good news.
Yeah,
Okay,
everyone. I was hoping that we could go around a little bit and do like a nice 30, 60 second kind of catch up with where you guys are at. And honestly, what I was thinking is, what has been like sort of a unexpected surprise, good thing during this quarantine? Like, what has kind of been like, I didn't really think I would like this, or I've had more time to do this. And I can give an example. I think some of you guys that follow me on Instagram, I've been cooking a lot with the kids, and that's been a real unexpected surprise. I'm usually somewhere in northern Houston or something at 8 or 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and I miss most of those dinner times. And so I've had every single night here. And so we cooked some pasta. I'll share a few photos over the next week or so, but we've been trying to keep up with our Italian buddies over there and doing some pasta nights and Indian food nights and traveling the world that way. So that's been a real unexpected surprise. So what about everybody else?
Well, on the food thing, I love the Splendid Table podcast. And while I've been walking every day, I listened to the Splendid Table, and there was a particularly interesting episode with Persian cooks. So now I'm all interested in learning how to do Persian cooking. But the one good thing that I had was, okay, so one day I kind of got lost and I didn't go my usual route, and I just sort of roamed in the neighborhood and found this area that I'd never walked or seen or driven before, and there were cute things. And then every day, it seems, as I'm walking, I'm seeing more interesting little cute things to take photographs of and put up on Instagram. There was a hutch of bunnies. There were amazing flowers. There were some signs that a little kid made and hung on a clothesline outside in sheet protectors about, being good and taking care and washing your hands and stuff. So I've seen things in my neighborhood that I'd never seen before. For one thing, when I exercise in the neighborhood, it's usually dark. So that's been my good thing.
So positive.
Guys, I can hear you. Okay, you see, I have my AirPods. But you can see.
I love it.
So you can talk. I can hear everything.
I love it, Andrea. We love the view, the bird's eye view of the production. Who's going next? Rebecca, you next?
Sure. I found all my old journals from high school and have been kind of going through 30 years of, oh my God, what was wrong with me, and rewriting them for my children so they can read them.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It's crazy. And gardening, been doing a lot more gardening.
We love you, Rebecca. God. It feels so good to see all you guys. So, man.
Yeah. There are 4 of the San Antonio 6 here, by the way.
Ooh. Bring it in. Where's my San Antonio 6? Represent.
Yeah, well, I too have been doing a lot of gardening. Started kind of doing that. It gives me a break from the chaos of all these Zoom meetings because we're still teaching. We're still doing distance learning. And so I think I do more teaching or more kind of tied to my computer now than I was ever before. But Andrea, I was admiring your vase up there because right before this had happened, I have all of my students made Greek vases. And so they were doing the sgraffito and stuff. And so they're all sitting there waiting to be fired in the kiln. So my kids are hoping to go back so that they can get those.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
I was going to type it up because I have a staff meeting in about 2 minutes, but I'd love to share. Latricia.
You need to break it down. What do you got?
No, stop it. I am not a cook, but I have become one over the last month. I know, like real food, chicken and stuff like that. So it's been amazing, and my daughter hasn't thrown it away, so it must be good. And I found a little park in our neighborhood that we take her to as she's learning to walk and all these other things. So it's been an experience here in Houston as we remain socially distant.
Sounds like nice time with your family.
Amazing. And ciao. I gotta go.
Ciao, Latricia.
Ciao, Latricia. Wine. Yes.
Good wine. Really good wine.
Oh, recommendations, Andrea. What do we have?
Yes.
This one, can you see the label? There's
No.
2 little lakes here, right? Can you see the label?
Yes.
Yeah, these are 2 little lakes. They are south of Rome, but this is the lake where the Pope has his summer residence. So he lives up here in the summer. It's 2 little volcanoes. Well, used to be volcanoes, like millions of years ago, and now they're like 2 resorts, like tourist resorts. But people live here, and this is where the Pope lives in the summer. So it's about half hour south of Rome. It's called the Orvieto Classico. It's white, it's like a regular, not expensive white wine, but good. We say cheap and cheerful.
Sounds like my kind of wine. Cheap and cheerful.
Cheap and cheerful.
Yeah.
Andrea, I've still been enjoying your wine recommendations. I think we've opened 2 of the bottles since January, and I think the other bottles will be going soon as well.
Okay, no, yeah, of course, yeah. Don't wait too long. Don't wait too long.
All right, who's next? Updates. What's been something that's been a surprise, an encouraging surprise during quarantine?
I can give a name. I'm learning a lot more technology, that's for sure. I am technology challenged big time.
Yes.
So with my community college course, that's been a learning experience for me for sure. It's been hard, but I'm gonna come out of this a pro.
Yes.
I think we all are. We're not.
I've already gone through all my wine.
I'm more.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, Betty.
Oh, your baby's so cute.
Oh, okay, so cute.
I love babies.
Yeah, that's part of my positive, I guess. I'm getting to spend more time with my kids. My son's over here doing his testing. So, but I'm getting to teach him and teach her and see them running around together more. And I was just telling my husband before all this happened, like, I drive like 3 hours a day round trip, and I was like, I feel like I barely get to see my kids. So it's kind of been a good thing, even though it's been tough, of course, with the online schooling. But it's been awesome, and I've been making my own yogurt and then finding ways to use all the leftover whey for making my own Greek yogurt. And kids and baking, so it's been fun.
We're definitely all going to be a couple of pounds heavier after this.
I don't know, I'm running around a lot.
I don't.
So I've actually lost almost 20 pounds during this.
What?
I know. You can't tell, but I'm like super
No, I
excited because I've started like working out and like
Give me the secret.
Yeah.
And then I do a ton of yard work. Oh my God, it sucks. It's so not fun. I recently had to buy 30 bags of mulch. Do you know how heavy that is? Like, I was like, oh. But yeah, my yard's all cute now, other than the dead grass, but don't worry about that.
All y'all who are good at gardening need to teach me because I kill things. My son and I started an avocado pit, so we're going to see how that goes.
Oh.
Most of you are from San Antonio, right? Or around that area? No?
Some.
I'm 2 hours south of San Antonio.
I was just wondering how the numbers were throughout El Paso. I mean, throughout Texas, because El Paso, the numbers are just shooting up like crazy. We went from 3 to 300 in just a couple of weeks. So I was just wondering. I think the governor is going to make an announcement this week, right, about the schools. You guys know?
I probably missed it, but where's everybody from? I know. Hi, Andrea. I said Roma. Where's Carolina and Todd? Where are you guys at?
All right, I'll start out at the top here. Houston.
I'm in Michigan. It's snowing here.
Where are you?
Michigan.
It's
usually really
snow.
Where are you at, Rebecca? Not you, Rebecca. I know where you're at. Victoria.
Oh, I'm in Austin, and the numbers, we haven't peaked yet. The numbers are posted by zip code. And when I started watching like 2 weeks ago, there were 10, and now they're 18. And I live in a fairly small zip code so that makes me nervous. But Andrea asked us special for good news and positive things. So I got to think about more positive things. The sun is out.
You're pretending to be in San Francisco.
Yeah, because the first time I did a Zoom, I discovered, I can change my background. And then I just never took time to figure out how to change my background again. So, but I'll learn before this is over.
Yeah, Sasha, where are you at?
I'm in Denver, and we have a sunny, nice day today. We're having a week of some days it's snowing, and then some days it's 50 and sunny. So kind of having back and forth. Yeah.
Hi, May. Hi, May. I didn't recognize you without your selfie stick.
You're so funny, Betty. You're such a good teacher, going through the list, getting everybody to talk.
Right. I miss being in the classroom. I'm just like cold turkey here. And Hector, how are you?
You're on mute, Hector.
Sorry. I'm mute. I'm actually in class right now, but my students are working on something.
Oh.
So, yeah. I'm an expert on Zoom and my computer. I have never used it on my phone, so I have no idea what I'm doing there.
Oh,
awesome. So yeah, I'm in class right now. So, but the students are working on something. So.
Okay. Good. Welcome. I'm just kidding.
All right, who else updates from? Let's get some updates, some more encouraging surprises that have happened during quarantine. Who we not heard from?
Yeah, so I'm still in Galveston. My daughter was a freshman at A&M, and she has been home, so that was kind of a surprise. She just found out yesterday that she's been interviewing via Zoom, and she's going to be able to do an internship in Washington, D.C. So,
wow, congratulations.
Yeah, so they're still going to have it. So, I mean, she would have gone straight from college to that internship. So we've gotten to spend 2 months with her at home that we wouldn't have had otherwise. So that's been a positive.
Great.
Congrats.
Yeah. I think for me, it's a lot of similar to the had a lot more time to spend with my family. I've taken on a lot of house projects that I wouldn't normally. I got to I whitewashed my fireplace, which I've never done or thought about before, but I took it from a really red brick to a nice grayish, whitish brick. So it looks a lot more modern. And then I was able to, I've made homemade pies, but never my own crust. And so I finally took on the challenge to make my own homemade crust, made some pies. Can y'all hear me? My Zoom is going crazy right now. Yes? Okay. But then I think the other thing for me is I'm a basic sewer. I'm not great, but I can sew. And my sister works in healthcare, and she's at a small hospital and doesn't have a lot of masks and a lot of PPE wear for her. And so I've gotten into sewing masks that will cover the N95 masks and allow her, she only has one mask, one N95 mask that she has to wear with a COVID patient. And so this will allow her to extend the use of that mask because it has another protective layer and they're washable. So that's been, I guess, therapeutic for me because I feel like I'm helping in some small way. So I've been making a lot of those and sending them out to her. But yeah, I think I find the positive in all of this. And for sure, it's been having extra time to do all these other things that we always push off to the side. So.
Agreed. I'm in more contact with some of my friends from far away than I used to be. So now I'm setting like regular weekly, Zoom appointments or Google Hangout appointments so that, I see people more, I talk to them more, besides just all school all the time, which is the way I am during the school year. So that's been a positive.
Love it. Who else? Who else have we not heard from?
Jaime.
Yeah, Jaime. Lourdes, I think we've
I'm
heard
calling
from.
him out.
Who else is popping in here?
You're on mute.
Let's get him on mute.
Well,
Okay.
I'm from South Austin, and one thing, let's see, I guess I enjoy more to be at home because every time, we're rushing and rushing and rushing here and there and there and there. And then I was wondering before this happened,
Is she
so,
no, we lost
yes,
you.
I enjoy being at home. I'm doing a little project at home, doing classes, which sometimes going well, sometimes going like, and so getting my wine, drinking, so good. So that's basically what I'm doing.
Good, and we can always hit Andrea up for some wine recommendations.
Yeah, yes.
Cheap and cheerful.
Cheaper. Let's see if I have more wine. Let's see. What I've got in here.
Oh,
Usually I
look
keep.
for your pencil and notebook.
I keep the wine below here.
Wow.
Some more wine here. Okay, but these are all cheap and cheerful. Let me see if I got something like more special here.
It's like
this is more special. This is Prosecco.
Oh, now we're talking.
Yeah, Prosecco is good. Yeah, that's my little canteen there. So,
If you're Italian, you always have a stash of wine hidden somewhere.
yeah, you get it.
If you're smart.
True.
Yeah, so.
All right, Jaime, what do we got? I see Hector's getting hyped there with his teaching down in the corner.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's the best. All right, updates, more updates.
Are you guys able, how many hours are you able to do with your students a day?
I spend about
we don't do any virtual face-to-face stuff at all. We're not allowed. Everything that we do has to be what they're calling asynchronous, which means we use a Google Classroom and we put up slides, and one assignment a week, you know, needs to be completed, and that's how we're taking attendance. Because that was what the district decided, and there you go.
May I ask why, Victoria? Oh,
why we don't do anything? I'm guessing the district has had some privacy concerns, but also I think they're staying way back from the edge of any possible line with any inappropriate anything.
Okay.
They said we couldn't use Zoom, for example, because what if, you know, little younger sibling ran through the background of the house, you know, with few clothes on? I'm not sure why they decided what they decided.
Wow.
To some extent, it makes it easier for us because, you know, we can manage the 3 hours to stand in line to go to the supermarket, or, you know, whatever it is to take care of the household without having to be tied a few hours a day to giving classes. So it kind of worked to our advantage in some ways.
We have to offer office hours on Zoom, and so our kids kind of pop in and out. In fact, I have to get on there in about 15 minutes. But our kids kind of pop in and out, and then we're required to partner up with another teacher. So we have 2 teachers to kind of monitor the Zoom class so that we have kind of that safety net. But yeah, I feel like I'm doing teaching from like 6 in the morning until like midnight, because the kids are still posting questions and asking, and it's so hard to just turn it off and walk away.
Yes, agreed.
Agree on that. Yes.
They have us do Google Meets. They gave us like an assigned 30 minutes per week that we can do it, but it has to be optional for our kids because a lot of our kids are working, like they're the only provider for their family now. So we just have 30 minutes assigned to us per week, and then we can choose to do another 30-minute tutoring session for people to show up. So everything else is on Google Classroom, and I have mine in like 15 minutes as well, but it's good. I mean, like you said, Jackie, like it's constantly stuff coming in, but they did tell us like you're not obliged to answer after 4:10 or before 8 o'clock. As long as you answer within 24 hours, you're all good.
We're doing so here where I'm at in Cyprus. Well, I'm actually in Katy teaching, but we're not doing any like Zoom classes as far as I know. I have optional Zoom every day for my kids for an hour and a half where they can come in, and if they have questions, like it's kind of like the tutorial time I have. But in 2.5 weeks, I've not had one kid do it. And so I'm just here at home during that, but I've also have to finish the yearbooks by myself, which has been a little bit of a process. So I am, while we've been talking, I've been flowing pages, trying to finish that, because we found that there was an issue with our people section, like we call them mug shots. So funny story, my very first year of teaching, I sent Laketria Willis, that was her name. I will never forget her name. And I said, hey, can you go get a mug of like Todd for the student life section? And she says, yeah, I can go get it. Sends her with a camera. She comes back with a photo of Todd, and he's standing against the side, and he has Parsons, Todd, student ID number. He's like this. Then he stands like this. So I have, like, she thought like mugshot, like police mugshot. So since then, I've had to fix that, my wording on that a little bit. We found that there was an issue with the company that we were using for the student portraits, had all the grades intertwined when they were not in the right grades. So I've had to manually place 2,300 individual student photos.
Wow.
And everything, and rechecking the names. And I've been doing that this past week. So, I think alcohol sounds really good right now. I don't really drink at all, but you know, it's getting to that point. My mom told me last night, she's like, you know, think you need to start drinking a little bit. You might feel a little bit better. Oh, Mom, thanks. But yeah, other than that, all is good. I'm finally a stay-at-home dog mom.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, who else we haven't heard of? Uma?
Where's Uma? She's right there.
Where? Where?
Oh, goodness.
There she is.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, so nice to see you all.
Ciao.
The positives of this is like I'm seeing both my kids. I never get to see them. They're teenagers and they're at home now. I get to see them a lot, so that's a good positive.
Do they like that?
Actually, yeah, they started liking those online classes. They're like, this is so much better than going to school. I can wake up whenever, and because Round Rock ISD doesn't do Zoom, so their classes are already, you know, pre-recorded and stuff, and they just have to go whenever they want to, and they can do that. So they're liking that much better.
That's great. Uma, they're younger. Are they? How are you dealing with their energy? Like, how are they getting?
No, they're not younger. They're high school. Both of them are. Yeah, I have 2 boys in high school.
Ah.
Are they breaking things yet?
No, that period is over. They're old now. They're 18 and 16, so they're really old.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
You got someone streaming Netflix in the background.
I think it's a miracle none of us got the virus when we were there, considering they closed Italy right after we left.
Right? Yes.
Yes, that's what I thought too, because, you know, we were really lucky. We came back and then Italy got hit really bad after that in February. We came back in Jan, right?
It was January when we landed in
Yeah.
January.
It was January 20th. I remember we were running through New York airport and I was looking at these people with masks and at that time I didn't know. And I was like, why are these people wearing masks? You know, we didn't know about it.
It was like a week later before they started all over the media that Italy was ramping up.
Yeah.
So you're saying we brought COVID to the U.S.?
No.
No.
No. But I think it was Milan, wasn't it, that got hit first? Like it was, we were in Rome, so it was, we weren't that close, but yeah, we sat in the plane with a couple of people, right? San Antonio team that had masks and things like that and I was thinking the same thing, like, why is, you know.
Yeah, I saw all these people in New York airport with the mask and I was like, what is going on? Why do they have a mask? We didn't know it then.
Yeah. They knew.
We knew. We did.
Andrea, what's the update on the dinner?
Yeah, the update on the, now I'm waiting for my wife to call me that she's on the way home from the hospital. Then I start cooking. We normally eat like at 8:30 here, so I'm still okay. That's okay. Now I was thinking about what you just said about being in Rome during the virus. Well, probably there was no virus around in Rome at the end of January because everything started in the north in Milan. I was actually in Milan and in that area with my group because I did the tour. They arrived in Milan on February 15, and the tour was like 7 days. So we did Milan, Venice, Florence, and Rome. So we were there through those areas when the virus was already around. But I've been in contact with the 2 teachers. I was in contact till about 2 weeks ago, and they were fine. And none of them fell sick or anything. And myself, when I came back home on February 22nd, I didn't go to see my parents, although they live downstairs. So I didn't see my parents for about 2 weeks. and I slept in a different room. So I slept like in my daughter's room, and my daughter was sleeping with my wife. So we saw like been separated in the house for a couple of weeks, just to be on the safe side, really. You know, we didn't here. You were not going to be tested unless you had a high fever, so they won't test you. So what it's going to be possible in a few days that everyone can get a test, and for 25 euros you can go to a private hospital and get a test done in about in a couple of hours. So what the government is thinking now for what they call phase 2, meaning that this is like we're in phase 1 now, meaning like lockdown. Okay, phase 2 means reopening a little bit. So during phase 2, they're thinking about like mass testing. So try to test as many people as possible, and because it's a matter of time, really. Timing is very important now, because there's a lot of Italians here that are struggling with the economy is just, you know, falling apart, and there's a lot of people already without a job, and like a lot of all the shops are closed. So we need to reopen as soon as possible before the economy, you know, will crash. So so the European Union, you know, still I don't know. That's so. It's so. I mean, if we start talking about politics, it's going to be like we're not going to be. We're going to be here until like tomorrow. Okay.
Yes.
So
same with
like,
our president.
We'll save that for the next call.
But what
Andrea's European Union update.
One thing that really you know upset me was the fact that, you know, we knew what was going on in China since December, basically. Okay, so we should have taken action right away. As soon as we knew something was going on in China, the rest of the world should have taken action, you know, and we just everybody underestimated, you know, and so this proved that as a United Nations set of countries, we're not prepared, we're not organized enough. This is what upset me the most. You know, we knew it, we should have taken action much earlier. So, and you know, these days, I mean, if you look back in the past, we always had viruses, okay? But like the last huge one was in 1918. We had another big one in 1959, because now all this information are coming out that we didn't know about, right? But in 1959, we had something similar in Italy, okay? It was called Chinese flu. It wasn't as bad as this, but a lot of people died. But it took about 2.5 years to travel from China to Italy. This was back in the 50s, okay? Because in the 50s, nobody traveled really. So it took more than 2 years to reach Europe, okay? Now, everybody's flying, you know, flights are cheap.
Yeah.
And so, and it took 2 months to arrive here instead of 2 years because of what it is today. So we underestimated this. We should have thought about this. If there's something going on in China, even if it's the other side of the world, you know that you're gonna get it. It's gonna come there. It's gonna get home. You know, there's no viruses have no borders. You know, they look at nobody. You know, you can be rich, you can be poor, you can be of any race, you will get it. You know, so we're terribly disorganized. So the United Nations should be like working. What I'm really hoping. Two things that I like to think is one thing that I like, going back to the question that you asked before, Todd, it's that it's very silent outside. Okay, I don't see noise of cars anymore. I can only see birds singing, and I love it.
Yes.
I can recognize lots of birds that I couldn't before because of the noise of the traffic. Okay, the other thing is that I'm really hoping. And what's going on now will have a huge impact in everybody's minds and life. Okay, that hopefully will change things for the better. You know, that even, you know, within our family, we appreciate what you have. You know, like, to give you what I really felt, I'll tell you this. On February 22nd, you know, I come back from my tour, and I was like a little stressed out. I was a little anxious. You know, I said, you know, the season is starting again. I had lots of anxieties, right? But which didn't make sense. I mean, if I look now at what I was a month ago, and I'm like, you know, I was happy and I didn't know it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know, I was stressed for nothing. I was anxious for nothing. You know, I didn't have to be anxious. There was nothing really wrong going on. This is wrong, you know. And so I looked at a month ago, and I'm like, you know, I was like a happy man, and I didn't know it. So this definitely, you know, I would be able in the future to appreciate more what I have, and just, you know, go with the life. You know, don't be stressed about like silly things, really, because I was stressed out about silly things. And so this is at least what I hope it's going to be in my future. Once we get over this craziness, that people would be more aware and more friendly, like more sociable, you know, and spend more time with the family, spend our money more wisely. So I hope that it's a lesson that everybody will learn. The whole world.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Andrea, wonderfully said. What a beautiful way to wrap up our hour lunch together, or pre-dinner.
Dinner, yeah.
With Andrea. It's that's beautiful. I appreciate seeing everyone's faces.
Yes.
Yes.
I see you, Andrea. Congratulations.
Yes, me too.
Congratulations.
We're glad you're doing well, Andrea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everyone
Thank
else,
you.
I'm glad to see you. Everyone's doing good.
Guys.
You
So
guys
wonderful
also take
seeing
care.
everyone.
Please stay home as much as you can until everything is over. Okay. I mean, it's so great to be home. You have big homes, you know, and so yeah, so it's great. It's great. You know, you can be home for a few weeks, and then everything will be fine. And I hope I can see you soon. Todd, thank you for organizing this, because at least, you know, I was so glad to see everybody of you, and also I broke some boring routine. At least it's something different today. And so if you want to organize it again, just give me a buzz. Maybe we can do like a cooking class or something next time.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yes.
Yes, how wonderful.
Okay.
Are we all
let me
cooking?
Yes.
Love it.
All right, that's the next plan.
If you want to do a cooking class, you let me know. I'll send you the list of the ingredients. We're gonna make some pizza. Nice pizza.
Good idea.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Alright.
Andrea, I am out of my mind with excitement and joy. My students will love this so much.
Okay, so Todd, maybe, you know, Todd has everybody his emails. I'm gonna email to Todd the ingredients like a few days before, so you can be prepared with all the ingredients. It's not that much. You just need some flour and some olive oil and not much really. It's something very simple.
Scratch? You're talking dough from scratch? I was gonna buy a pre-made pizza thing. That's
Just don't show the video of you doing that.
No, we'll do from scratch.
You start the video when it's already done, and you know, you don't even know.
It has to be done from scratch.
Okay.
I love it.
All right.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Okay. Bye,
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Ciao.
Ciao.
Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Bye, Victoria.
Bye, Oma.
Bye.
Andrea, thank you so much.
Todd, you're welcome.
That was the best.